But let's move to the story now coming from the Eastern Cape. The case against the 32-year-old woman accused of killing her 4 children has been postponed. She appeared in court just a little earlier this afternoon. Nombuleko Simayile is alleged to have attacked her children with a sledgehammer while they were asleep. The children aged between 2 and 11 years. The woman's family says the accused is a good person who loved her children dearly. eNCA's Ronald Masenda covering the story and joins me now. So, Ronald, this is just such an incredibly tragic story. And of course, it just doesn't make any sense what has happened if this woman indeed did do what is believed to have happened, what she allegedly did to her children. What happened in court today?
Well, Sally, we heard earlier in court here in eNCA that while Nombuleko Simayile may not have been previously convicted of any crimes, there was a protection order taken against her by the girlfriend of the father of her own children. We do understand that the father now resides in Cape Town where he works. What we've also learned about Nombuleko Simayile is that she is a parent who is unemployed. She's been looking after her 4 children, and that she's been relying on social grants just for her children to survive. And what we heard yesterday when we were here in eNCA visiting the village where this ugly incident took place is that she just went in a rage, using a hammer and bludgeoning her children while they were asleep. Harrowing details coming from the area in Tsalama village. We also heard from the father shortly after this incident took place how she confessed to killing the children and that it had to be her children had to die first before her. And what we've also learned now, Sally, is that she may have suffered from mental illness. I mean, this is something that will certainly become part of the evidence that will be used here in court when this matter appears again in court on the 17th of November.
Yeah, so, I mean, she has now confessed. You're explaining to me now that it does suggest possibly, if she suddenly went into a rage, that possibly some psychosis. And that perhaps explains why her family, the Simayile family, is saying, look, she's a woman who loves her kids. What are they saying exactly to you?
So I got an opportunity to speak to both her mother and her father. And the father, just a short while ago, before we actually spoke, Sally, he said following the court proceedings today that he forgives his child, and that although he is deeply angered and in pain that he lost grandchildren, he will by all means try to support her, given the tough times that she now faces, killing 4 of her young children. Of course, there will be more evidence coming to court as this case continues. But the mother, or her own mother, is still shocked when we spoke to her last night at the Rondavel where this particular incident took place. She was at no words, Sally, just basically describing how also the children, her grandchildren, also used to assist her as the grandmother with her own needs at home. So she feels like she lost her own kids through this incident that took place during the early hours of yesterday morning. Of course, we heard from the mother earlier, or yesterday rather, and this is what she had to say.
Nangoku kulanda kuyo njengoba endile andishiye nabantwana babini uLizalise noENCA bayokwendela kusaka Otha noElihle ebebathatha nebengabalibalanga abantwana balapha ebebathengela nempahla ebebathanda kakhulu andiyazi bakwenzeke intoni. Ndifuna ukuthi ke andirayithanga kumandanga kum ngoba ngabantwana ebendihlala nabo ababini uLizalise noENCA nathi bengincedwa ngabo. Gogo andiyazi.
I mean, it's just so unbelievably tragic. Nombuleko Simayile, so she's confessed to killing her 4 children. Possibly there was some sort of psychosis, some mental illness. You've spoken to the Department of Social Development about that. Tell us about that.
So the department says that they will be speaking to the family, trying to, first of all, give them assistance with counseling. We do understand that the children, the two children that went to a school at that village, they also need counseling. The children are friends of the two deceased children. So when we heard about this, about how the school itself went to go visit the crime scene, even the teachers broke down. So the Department for Social Development will try to assist the school children at that particular school. But also there are plans to also assist the family of Nomboleko Simayeli with funeral arrangements. We do understand that there is talk that the funeral could take place either on Thursday or Friday next week. But it's support that should have been given, especially to Nomboleko Simayeli, if indeed, Sally, that she was going through this mental illness that she went through. Because speaking also to some of the people who were in the gallery who knew her, they said that, you know, she was a very quiet person, a very down person when she felt down and didn't want to be around people. And for them, this was a sign that things were not right in her household. So what could have triggered her, we don't know at this stage, but what we do know from the accounts of the various people that we spoke to, she did have serious issues. But the Department for Social Development says that they will also be working with other departments to lend a helping hand. We do know that the Education Department, the MEC Fundile Kati, will also be here tomorrow, just to try and assist where they can also at the school that the two kids went to. We heard from Kiwe Fanta, the MEC for Social Development earlier. These were her thoughts.
We are going straight to visit the home, because yesterday we could not only dispatch our social workers. The local municipality has committed to take care of the funeral arrangement, because the 4 people at go is just out for the family. So local municipality is taking care, and the provincial government will also assist.
All right. MSC, what's also very concerning are allegations that the mother may have suffered from mental illness. Are there programs in place to assist people, especially in rural areas, where they need the necessary assistance with regards to these challenges?
Thank you, Mrs. For that one, we're not sure about that one. It's the first time I hear that she was not well. It's only now that I'm going to her home where I'll get details. But we're appealing as a department that wherever one has got serious problems, she must talk, and the social workers are there.
Often it's difficult to talk. And especially, you know, you raised such an important question there, Ronald, about getting help for mental illnesses, but especially if you're in a rural area where resources are very stretched. It's not an easy thing to speak up. But thank you, Ronald. Very important story. So tragic. That's our reporter in the Eastern Cape, Ronald Masenda.